Hello guys and welcome back. In this video, let's actually wrap up our IK setup. So we need to actually apply a IK system in the control rig. Okay, so the system is called full body IK. Okay, it was a plugin that you have to toggle on, but I think with my version, which is Unreal Engine 5.3, it's in the system by default. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add in another pin here, and then we just connect that to the full body IK. Okay, the full body IK works this way. You set up which one is the root of your IK, and because we're doing a localized IK, it's not supposed to be full body. The root is gonna be the pelvis there, so not the root, if that makes sense. Okay, and then effectors. If you have learned any rigging in Maya, you know what effectors is. Basically the end point of the IK handle. Right, and then we're gonna have two effectors, one for the left leg and the other one on the right leg. Right, at the bone of the effector, right, which bone is the last bone on the IK, right, the IK handle, right? Or if you have learned Maya, it's basically the second click, right, the second joint you clicked on, right, when you're applying an IK handle. That's the joint, and that has to be the foot left and foot right. And this is the actual joint, not the IK joint anymore, right? These two, you can see how they're there, right? The reason they're there is because our IK is actually already in effect. It's basically saying that the transform is all like 0, 0, 0. So basically the IK handle is moved to the origin. And then of course they're gonna do that, right? Then what is the actual transform that you need to be putting in? Well, that's actually where our IK foot joint should be. Right, so this is where we need to start dragging in the IK foot joint to use as the transform that we reference for the IK handles position. Basically are these two transforms. So it's going to be IK foot left, get the bone, and that transform, all we care about is the translation. But I guess we can pose in the transform. I don't think they really rotate anyways, right? So that's the left and drag in the right. And that one goes to the right. You can see how it's automatically fixed, right? Another thing I wanted to do is that for the settings, right, for the root behavior, I want to actually make it pin, right? So that way it is not going to be shifting because we're doing a local rig. Per the documentation, pin to input is better to be used for a localized partial body solvers. And that's exactly what we want. We want the foot and the leg to be driving by the IK, but not the rest of the body. So we need that. Okay. And then I think that's about it, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and compile and save it. Go ahead and play the game. Okay. Now if we go here, you can see how the foot are actually nicely planted on the surface, right? So what's going on is that we do shift our IK foot left and IK foot right to where they should be based on our tracing. And then they're used almost as the positioning of the IK handle, right? And that IK handle drives both the left and right leg, right? And you can see when we're standing here, I think that's a nice example. You can see how the other foot is actually on the ground, right? Go here and take a look at that. Yeah, very cool. Very nice. So that's basically how the IK is working out. But if we do a jump, there is a possibility that when you're falling, it's trying to snap to that location, right? So we can add in one more safeguard. And when we are falling, you do not want IK to be in effect, right? So to do that, we're going to go to the IK foot, and it's an easy switch. Here we're going to do a branch. And drag A goes through the branch, and then the true goes to there. And the one we're checking against the condition is if we're in there. So drag that out. I want to promote that to a variable. Okay, and back here to the my blueprint, I'm going to name that variable is on ground, right? And that has to be the information we take. If we're on the ground, we do this trace. If we're not on the ground, we don't do that. So in the false branch, we just set those two targets to 0. And the set here and set here, right? And these will be just set to 0, so we're not offsetting at all, just the original animation, right? No offsetting at all. And just like that. And one thing we need to do is, of course, this boolean has to be controllable through the animation blueprint. So this one has to be instance editable so that we can see that on the node. With that being saved, we can go to the animation blueprint. Okay, and then you can see how if we go here and check on that, here I believe is on ground, use the pin so we can actually set it. And how do we know are we on ground? Well, we have this is in air, right? And then we just do a not boolean. If you're not in there, you're on the ground. So not boolean, and that one goes and pass into the is on ground. And that way we can actually limit the foot planting to be only happening when you're on the ground, but not falling. Okay, so that's going to make it lesser, I guess, poppy, right, when you are flying. Okay, and just like that, we got this nice looking foot planting, and it works perfectly on different surfaces. Okay, so yes, that will be it for this entire tutorial. We have 4 videos. Hopefully this is not too long and you got it done already. A main takeaway is that we actually need to use some coding to get the foot planting working with the new control rig system. You can spend some time to learn additional things that the control rig can do for you. It's actually able to allow you to set up an entire rig of the body, and you can even animate from there. You can also transfer animation from animation asset to those controllers. Using the backward. I didn't mention that, but if you look at this node, we started with this forward solve, which means that we're actually applying controls from something else to the joints. That's what forward solve is. It's not FK. It has nothing to do with IKFK. It's forward solve means that we're passing information and driving the joints. And there is, if you go here, there is also this backward solve, which is going to be passing information from the joint back to something else, and presumably the controllers, which means that you can actually pass joints animation from those animation assets into the controller as a layer. You can add in an animation layer to add in offset to animate them, just like what you can do with Maya's animation layers. This thing is getting crazy good, in my opinion. A lot of things are set up automatically. A lot of things I think that they're trying to do is to mimic what Maya can do, but simpler, right, with this node-based editing. So it's really, really cool to look at. Okay, so yeah, that'll be it for this video. Let me know if you have more questions, and I'll catch you guys in the next time.